Registered representatives offer securities through Securities America, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Financial advisors offer advisory services through Securities America Advisors, Inc. Forest Hills Financial, Inc. and Securities America are separate entities. This is the Keeping Your Money Show with Jamie Westenbarger and Bart Steindler.
Good morning. Welcome to Keeping Your Money Show. I'm Jamie Westenbarger, joined as always by my esteemed colleague, Mr. Bart Steindler. Bart, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. It's another $1 million morning.
Indeed it is. And a great morning. I mean, an awesome event that we had here just last Thursday, our 5th annual charity golf outing for our friends over at Kids Food Basket. Just a great time. Lots of money raised. Numbers still being tallied. We'll have a number on that here probably next week. But lots of people showed up and really just a great event for a great cause, and lots of kids going to have sack suppers because of all those people.
It's hard to put into words how grateful we are to everybody who contributed, who came out to golf and spent a little money and bought raffle tickets and bid on raffle items, or were whole sponsors or helped underwrite the event. Truly appreciate it. And like I say, it's hard to put into words. But these kids who are not getting dinner at night and are now getting a sack supper at night to take home, and makes such a huge difference in their world. So thank you so very much.
And when you talk about people, now obviously tons of people supported it, lots of golfers, great team support, whole sponsors all over the place, but 4 stand out as being kind of above and beyond anti-hunger advocates, and that is Regal Home Group, Remax of Grand Rapids, Kylan Law, Sundance Grill and Bar, and the Todd Winslow Auto Group, which donated the possibility for someone to win a GMC Denali. So big thank you to all 4 of those organizations and all of our corporate sponsors, which without them it would be much more difficult, of course, to put the event on.
Yep. And so wait till next year. We're going to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is Keep Your Money Show, where we cut through all the bulls, the booyahs, the bells, whistles, honks, and horns to get you to the information that actually helps you move towards retirement. Got a great show on deck today. We're going to talk about 5 changes you may be seeing in the very near future in your 401ks and IRAs. A new way of paying for college. We're going to talk about a college that has a unique idea that requires no student loans and no tuition payment in order for you to get your degree. Good financial habits will not make you rich. An interesting take on just the habits themselves not being enough, what will help you get to the promised land, and how to think about your money for less than an hour a month. Talking about automation of finances and why, if you're not using them, you're spending way too much time on things you shouldn't be spending time on. All that and more right here on the Keeping Your Money Show. If you ever miss any part of the show, you of course can always find it on our website. Go to keepingyourmoney.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Keeping Your Money. I do want to remind everyone, and we've been talking about this now for the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of demand from people saying, boy, I'd love to sit down and just pick your brain for an hour. I'd love to sit down, but maybe I don't have time to come in for an appointment or, whatever. So we thought about, why don't we just set up a couple like town hall kind of style events, and we're going to do that in August 7th and 9th, Western Michigan University on the Beltline. Basically what you've been asking for. You want to talk about Social Security, you want to talk about the tax cuts, you want to talk about how to know if you have enough money to retire on. All that and whatever else comes up will be discussed in a real open forum. It's not a seminar. It's not an educational event. There's no PowerPoint. It's really just a chance for a group of like-minded people to get together and say, hey, Jamie and Bart, what about this? And we be able to assist you and answer those questions for you. There's no cost for it, but you do need to register to come to it because seating is limited. You can find more information if you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/keepingyourmoney, or of course, give us a call. 888-98-MONEY is the number.
And you don't want to hesitate for signing up because the sign up is going pretty quick, and it looks,
Yeah, I was like, wow. Like, we just started this a week ago, and we already have seen a huge response. So
right. So don't delay. Do it today.
that was good. It rhymed. You're a poet and didn't know it. So let's talk about these potential changes. Now, of course, we hesitated to talk about these the last couple weeks because, our government is famous for coming up with a million different ideas. They put them in the newspaper or online, and then none of them come to fruition. But there's enough of them that are starting to stack up that seem to have a pretty large support base in Congress that I thought maybe we should start to discuss them. And quite frankly, I'm a fan of all of them. I think these are things that are long overdue. And there's probably another dozen I can think of on top of these, but we can start here and hopefully improve from them. The one that we're seeing that I think would help a lot of people is a new item on your 401k disclosure. And what this is under the proposed legislation, plan sponsors would show an estimate of the monthly income of what your balance is and what that balance would generate when you retired if you purchase like an immediate annuity. So if you took that money and converted it into income based on today's rates, what would it look like in income? Now, of course, it's going to be a lot of projections and things like that involved in it, but at least will give you some kind of idea of what that actually would look like.
That's one of the most common things that people ask us when they come in for a consultation is, I got this much money. I'm going to retire. How much income can I draw from this much money? What's that going to look like? I need this much a month to live on, and I need to factor in inflation, and I need to factor it over a period of 25, 30 years. What's that going to look like? Mm-hmm. And at least this doesn't answer the whole question, but it kind of starts moving you into that direction.
It at least gives you an idea. I mean, even if it's off a few $100s a month or something. I mean, it stops the person who has $500,000 thinking that will generate $60,000 a year in income, because it's just not going to. So at least it starts to give you an idea of what we're looking at. The next thing that they're talking about is removing the age limit on IRA contributions. Now, if you're not aware, if you're 70 and a half or older, you can't make deductible contributions to a traditional IRA. This is because it coincides, of course, with required minimum distributions. Now, interestingly, the bill would do nothing to change required minimum distributions, but I guess at least you could offset some of that if you were still working. This is kind of a no-brainer. I mean, we've seen Congress and the Social Security Administration continue to push up the full retirement age component of Social Security. Mm-hmm. So obviously they're acknowledging people are retiring later. People are living much longer, and to continue if you're working at 72 and not be able to continue to contribute to an IRA is kind of ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't really make sense. It's almost age discrimination, really.
Also, when you think about this, we keep reading statistics that there's so many people that have not saved enough for retirement. Mm-hmm. And you got to believe that there's a subset of people who are working beyond 70 years old that are the same people that haven't saved enough for retirement. Now, some of them are working because they still enjoy their work, but a lot of them are working because they have to still work. So if they have to still work, why not let them continue to contribute to that retirement account?
Mm-hmm. There's also a conversation about graduate students. Right now, students that receive a taxable stipend or fellowship payments, they are not able to contribute those to a retirement plan. The argument being, well, if they're taxable, why can't they? So maybe an easing on that requirement, which makes a lot of sense.
It would get those people to start saving earlier for their retirement, and one of the big factors in being able to retire is to start saving early and continue to add to that savings, and so this would help that.
Yep. Rep. Kenny Marchant from Texas has an interesting proposal. I kind of like a couple parts of this. The first one is he wants to create a new kind of account. I don't know that we need a new kind of account, but okay, we'll roll with it. What I do like about it, though, is it offers more flexible withdrawal rules than what existing retirement accounts have. Now, you might say, well, those rules keep people from taking money out early, which is true, but they also sometimes keep people from contributing in the first place. And so if you have someone who maybe is trying to build up that emergency savings account and all of these things, they may bypass retirement funds for years in the worry that if they needed them, they would have to pay a penalty to get them out. giving someone an option to create some type of tax deferred savings vehicle that also has some flexibility if something horrible happens, I think is a great idea. And then also creating the ability for employers, how sometimes employers automatically enroll you in 401k. He's come up with the idea of helping employers automatically enroll employees in emergency savings account. The employees could, of course, opt out. But it would be an opportunity maybe for some of the loans that we see that come out of 401ks, maybe being a little bit more, a little less, because they actually have some funds to tap before they tap that 401k.
If this could minimize or in the long term eliminate loans from 401ks, this is a tremendous idea. Let's say that we encourage people to put away an emergency savings account and put a certain amount on that, or maybe don't even put a certain amount on it. Just say, hey, this is your emergency savings, and give people the opportunity to make their own decisions on how much they feel is a correct amount for an emergency savings.
Well, and you look at the types of things that people do contribute to at work already. Mm-hmm. We can argue the merits of things like accident-only plans or specific kind of illness, workplace insurance plans. The reality is giving someone the option to just have $20 a month go out of their paycheck into an emergency savings, over the course of a couple years, that could very well stop someone from making a loan on their 401k, which is a huge benefit for sure.
Absolutely.
The last one I like a lot, and I don't know why Congress hasn't done this yet, to be honest with you. And the idea is allowing small employers to pool together and create 401k plans. And why Congress has been so slow to act on this, I don't know why. They complain all the time that small employers don't offer 401k benefits without acknowledging the significant cost to a small employer to even start that type of plan. This would allow them, similar to how used to be done in group health insurance plans, where you could join a network or a group or something like that, would allow you to do the same thing, so that now instead of you being a startup 401k with only a little bit of assets, you might be a much larger group because you and other companies similar to yours kind of pool together to start a plan. It lowers administrative costs for the employees. It lowers running costs over the long term, and it could make these types of plans much more attractive to small employers who probably, in many instances, want to offer these benefits to their employees, just simply can't shoulder the extensive costs that it starts just even start one up sometimes.
Yeah, not only that, but it's not really fair to the people who are employed by a small company and that their 401k has a lot higher expense ratio. Now, the higher expense ratio is justified because, the company providing the services is providing the services for a smaller pool of money. So it's justified that it costs more, but it's not necessarily fair for the small company employee that they have higher expense ratios than a larger company, and this would help alleviate that.
There's also a tax credit available to small companies to offset costs of starting a plan. It right now is $500, which is literally the smallest of drops in a bucket to start up a 401k. It can be as much as $5,000 under this proposal, which would definitely make starting a plan much more attractive to a lot more companies. So hopefully we'll see some movement on these. And of course, as we do, you'll be the first to know. As we know, you'll know. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about colleges. College in Northfield, Vermont has come up with an interesting way to help you pay for school right here on the Keeping Your Money Show.
There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to planning your future. Jamie, Bart, and all of the advisors at the Keeping Your Money Show understand that your financial goals are unique and your needs are going to change at varying stages of your life. Our team of advisors can help you tailor a financial plan that meets your unique needs. Call us today at 1-888-98-MONEY or visit keepingyourmoney.com to schedule your free initial consultation.